Welcome to Curiosity, Not Judgment. My name is Birga. As you can tell, I am all by my lonesome. Gary is traveling. We are having a difficult time coordinating schedules, and I had very good intentions about asking somebody to join me as a co-host, but I ran out of time to get that scheduled in advance enough so that I could get this posted at the correct day and time. So you just get to have me for a little bit today, and I hope that's okay. As I was thinking about what I wanted to share today, I was reflecting back on some revelations that have happened to me over the last number of months about the way that I act and respond. And I know we touched on this very briefly in a few past episodes, but I wanted to just take this opportunity to share some of my journey in hopes that, of course, that this provides some fuel for you to be curious about your own life, your own behaviors, and your own patterns, so that as you consider them and as you want to change the way that you behave, that this might be food for thought and a catalyst towards you beginning the next phase of your journey in some different ways of living, doing, and acting. So, a little bit of backstory. I grew up in a home that did not have a lot of snack foods available. It was, we had enough food, but they were basic foods. They were staples, and we didn't have the potato chips or the Doritos and the Cokes and the cookies. And we just didn't have that as part of our upbringing. And so I remember pretty vividly that whenever we had a chance to go to a friend's house, my sister and I would tend to totally overdo it, eating snacks somewhere else because it was so wonderful and, full of all the chemicals that they pump in there to get you to eat more. So when presented with, a sleeve of Oreos, a bag of Doritos, fill in the blank for your favorite product, we would go way overboard in having too much. Now, fast forward to adulthood. And in the last season, I've been in professional environments where there's been a few high-class dinners that I've gotten a chance to participate in. Now, high-class dinners are also not something from my past, not from my upbringing, because it just wasn't part of our culture. It wasn't part of our budget. And then once I got married and had my own family, it was definitely not part of our budget. And so when I have recently had opportunity to go to a very nice restaurant, I often leave feeling so overfull and so just physically yuck because I've overdone it. And I had this little aha moment, and this part might sound familiar because I've shared a little bit of this, but when I was reflecting back on why do I behave this way, it really stems back to me thinking that I'm never going to have this opportunity again. In childhood, thinking, well, I don't have Doritos at my house, so I better take full advantage right now. Or I don't have sodas at my house, so I better have, not just one, but several. And then even now, present day, when I'm at a fancy restaurant, I think to myself, well, I'm not going to be coming here alone or with my husband. I'm not going to be coming here on my own dime, so to speak. And so if someone else is paying, of course, I'm going to eat everything in sight and order dessert. And as I was really sitting and thinking about this, I thought, what is that? What is that way of thinking? And it's scarcity thinking, right? Or poverty mentality. And again, we've touched on some of these concepts in past episodes. But as I was just reflecting on that and wanting to change my behavior for the better, I had to look back and really examine what I was thinking about and what was driving behaviors. And so in this particular example, as I'm talking about food, snack foods, or, fancy foods, it is something that I've really had to be conscientious of and will continue to need to be conscientious of. And I'll tell you, even right now, as we speak, I'm in an environment, it's a co-working place. Our company participates in this workstation and we've got access to this building. I'm in a converted fitting room, believe it or not. For those of you that are listening, this is not going to mean anything to you, but for those of you viewing, obviously can see the visuals. So this physical space used to be a retail store, and there's a number of fitting rooms that are in a row, and they've added in soundproof panels, some art, lighting, and now you can use it as these individual work cubbies, and you can do these, online meetings or recordings or whatever business that you need to conduct. And so in this space, outside of this fitting room, obviously, They've got all kinds of snacks. They've got a stocked fridge. They've got a coffee bar. They've got all kinds of stuff out there. And I have to watch myself because I could go stand there and with wide eyes look at all these yummy things that I don't have in my own home and start to take from them because of this, scarcity mentality. Or I can stop and say, am I actually hungry? Am I actually thirsty? Do I need something right now? And if I need something, what's the best choice for me to fuel my body with? But I'll tell you, that is a difficult train of thought. It is very hard to unlearn patterns and behaviors that have been part of your life for decades. I know I'm speaking to the choir. We all have these issues in different areas of our life, but as a 40-something-year-old woman, it is still a battle for me. And so I just wanted to be real, to be genuine, and say there are very good opportunities for us to stop and be curious about why we do what we do. Why do we have these reactions? Why do we have these behavior patterns? And so if you choose to be curious and do the work, do the due diligence of kind of exploring backwards your path to how you got there, you may uncover some really important things from your past that are driving your behaviors presently. And as you begin the difficult work of unwinding some of those complications, you can set yourself on a path towards having a better future. So, simple little kind of testimonial of some of the things I've been walking through, but I wanted to just speak those words of just challenge that you can also be curious about your own behaviors and your own patterns to launch into a new way of doing things. So, how about you? What are some of the things that you are stuck on? What are some of those behaviors that just come forth out of you? And after they've come out, you feel a sense of shame or embarrassment or frustration or anger. You haven't mastered that area of your life. Think through what those are. Now start to be curious. What in the world causes me to act this way or to speak this way or to do this thing? What is it? And sit on that for a while and be curious about the path that brought you to this place present day. Now continue to be curious and ask yourself, what is it that I need to do now to unlearn those behaviors, to get to the root of the issue and to be freed to behave differently, to speak differently moving forward? I would absolutely love to hear some of your stories. And I know I'm always encouraging at the end of every episode for you all to get in touch with us. And I mean it sincerely. If you go to our website, curiositynotjudgment.com, there is a easy way for you to contact us. It's just a little form to fill out your name, email, I think phone number if you want, but then it's just a dialogue box and you can type right in there. We would absolutely love to hear from you. We have a Facebook page, Curiosity Not Judgment, clever title, right? We also have, all of the comment options, whether you're watching this on YouTube or if you are listening as a podcast through one of the various platforms. Some of them will, of course, allow you to add comments, and we would love to hear your feedback. So please take the time and just give us a taste of some of the things that you are thinking about, some of the things that you are curious about, because we certainly would love to know. I know this is a shorter episode than usual, but I don't want to bore you to death with a monologue, and I want to give you the time. I'll buy you the extra time right now. You're used to about a 25-minute episode. I'll buy you a few extra minutes that maybe you can sit and do some of that homework on about thinking on your behaviors that you want to change, where they came from, and how do you move forward. So, as always, thank you for being here. Would love your feedback. And until next time, very much appreciate you being part of the Curiosity Not Judgment community.